I'm Sally Cole with Story Hour Academy, and this is our phonics lesson about the letter E. The letter E makes two vowel sounds and can be silent. It makes a short E sound, which looks like this in a dictionary. It makes a long E sound, E, which looks like this in a dictionary. And, as I already mentioned, it can be silent. So we'll have a silent final E. Now get out a paper and pencil, and we are going to write the letter E. Let's start with the lowercase e. And as we write it, we're going to say the two sounds that it can make. Here we go. Lowercase e says and E. Lowercase e makes two sounds, 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 and E. Of course, it can be silent. And then we've got an uppercase E. Here's what the uppercase E looks like. And it also makes two sounds, just like the lowercase e, and can be silent. Uppercase E says and E. Let's write this out 4 more times. Uppercase E says and E. Uppercase E says and E. Uppercase E says and E. And the last one, uppercase E says and E. Good job. Now one of these sounds should already be familiar to you, because we have learned a multi-letter phonogram for one of these sounds. Do you remember which one it is? Is it the short E, or the long E, that we have a multi-letter vowel phonogram for? It is the long E. We have the double E that always says long E. And so now with the letter E, we have a new phonogram that can make the short sound or the long sound E, just like the double E. So over here we have 2 ways to spell a long E sound. Now the next thing you are going to need to know is, when does letter E make a short sound when does letter E make a long E sound E, and when does letter E stay silent? So I have written up a little Q&A for you that asks and answers these questions. Our first question is, when does letter E make a short E sound Here's our answer. Letter E makes a short E sound, in closed syllables. You may remember from our letter A lesson that a closed syllable is a syllable that ends with a consonant. This is easiest to see through example. So let's look at some words. Okay. First word is egg. I want you to write a short E that says and a GG that says G. This is a 1-syllable word which ends in a consonant letter, so it's a closed syllable word, which makes the E say its short sound, Next word, end. We have an E that says an N that says N, and a D that says D. This is a consonant letter, so the E makes its short sound. Next word, elk. We have a E that says E, an L that says L, and a K that says K. K is a consonant, and so the E makes its short sound E, elk. Next word, elm. We have an E that says E, an L that says L, and an M that says M. The M is a consonant letter, so the E says E, elm. Next word, elf. We have an E that says E, an L that says L, and an F that says F. F is a consonant, so E makes its short sound E. Next word, leg. We have an L that says L, an E that says E, and a G that says G. The G is a consonant, so the E makes its short sound E, leg. Next word, 10. We have a T that says T, an E that says E, and an N that says N. The N is a consonant, so what sound does the E make? A short E, T, N, 10. Next word, bell. We have a B that says B, an E that says E, and a LL that says L. The L is a consonant, so the E makes its short sound B, L. Next word, web. We have a W that says W, an E that says E, a B that says B. The B is a consonant, so the E makes its short sound W, B, web. Next word, pen. We have a P that says P, an E that says E, and an N that says N. The N is a consonant letter, so the E makes its short sound P, N, pen. Next word, vest. We have a V that says V, an E that says E, an S that says S, and a T that says T. The T is a consonant letter, so the E makes its short sound V, S, T, vest. Next word, nest. We have an N that says N, an E that says E, an S that says S, and a T that says T. The T is a consonant letter, so the E makes its short sound N, S, T, nest. Our next word is deck. We have a D that says D, an E that says E, and our CK phonogram that says K. D, E, K. The K is a consonant, so the E makes its short sound deck. Next word, wet. We have a W that says W, an E that says E, and a T that says T. The T is a consonant, so the E makes its short sound wet, wet. Next word, bed. We have a B that says B, an E that says E, and a D that says D. The D is a consonant, so the E makes its short sound D, bed. And there you have it, 15 examples where letter E makes a short E sound because it's in a closed syllable, which is a syllable that ends in a consonant. Let's look at our next question. This question says, when does letter E make a long E sound? E. Here's the answer. Letter E makes a long E sound, E, before silent final E and in open syllables. So I will underline the important parts here. Before silent final E and in open syllables. And the best way, again, to show this is through example. Let's start with some words where a silent final E makes the preceding E in a word make its long E sound E. First word in this category is eve. This is short for evening, like New Year's Eve. This is a long E sound E and a V sound V. And we add the silent final E to tell us that this E is making a long sound, because we don't want to look at it as just EV. That would be a closed syllable that ends in a consonant letter where the E makes a short sound. So we want the silent final E here so that we know that this is a long E. And then we can pronounce this word Eve. Eve. So I'm going to erase our little ev. Let me get my eraser out. If you wrote that down, feel free to erase it also. Okay, and let's look at our next word that has a silent final E. The word is meme. This begins with the M that says an E that we want to make a long E sound E, an M that says That's all the sounds that we need. E, and now we just need that silent final E to signal to us that this E makes a long sound. Meme. Next word, eek. We want a long E sound E, followed by the K sound K. And here's our silent final E to tell us that this is long. E, K. Silent final E. Eek. Next word, here. We have an H that says H. We want a long E, and an R that says We don't want this to say a short E sound, because that would be her. We want a silent final E here to tell us that this is a long E. And then we could pronounce the word here. And the next word is a name. Do you know anyone named Pete? Well, if you do, now you know how to spell his name. Pete begins with a P that says P, a long E that says E, and a T that says T. And it needs a silent final E so that the E is long. P, E, T. Without this silent final E, the word would be pet. And I don't know anybody named Pete that wants to be called pet. Now let's look at some words where letter E makes a long E sound in open syllables. And the first set of words I have are one syllable word. First word is be. Here we have a B that says B and an E that says E, as in I want to be an astronaut. An open syllable is a syllable that ends in a vowel. E is a vowel, therefore E makes its long sound. B-E-B. Next word, he. We have an H that says H and an E that ends our syllable. It's a vowel, so the syllable is open. Therefore, this E makes a long E sound E. H, E, he. Next word, me. We have an M that says and an E that says E. E, me. Next word, we. We have a W that says W and an E that says E. Now, of course, the letter E can make a long E sound E in an open syllable that occurs within a multi-syllable word. For example, deter. The first syllable is D, the second syllable is ter, deter. So the first syllable is spelled with a D that says D, and an E that makes its long E sound E, D, E, D. Second syllable is ter. So we have the T that says T, and our ER phonogram that says deter, deter. Next word is Peter. This is another name, similar to Pete, except this time it's a two-syllable word. First syllable, P, spelled with a P that says P and a long E. Second syllable, ter, T-E-R, T that says T, and our ER phonogram that says Next word is recur. First syllable re, second syllable cur. To spell our first syllable, it's just like we spell these words up here. Be, he, me, we, re. It's an R that says and an E that says E. And then for cur, we need a C that says k, and the UR phonogram that says And next word is pre-plan. For first syllable, pre, we have a P that says P, an R that says and an E that says E. Because this is an open syllable, it ends in a vowel, so this vowel that it ends with makes a long E sound. Pre-plan. Now this second syllable, we need to use some information we learned in our letter A lesson, because we have a P that says P, an L that says ul, an A that makes its short A sound and an N that says n. And this A is making its short sound because this syllable is a closed syllable that ends with a consonant. So the A says So here we've got long E, short A, P, E, P, ul, n. Pre-plan. And that's how to read two-syllable words. And this brings us to our third question about the letter E, which is, when does letter E stay silent? And here's our answer. The short answer is that there are many reasons for letter E to stay silent. But that's not very detailed, is it? There's lots of reasons E can be silent. Well, the next question is a follow-up question, which is, what are the reasons? So I'm going to share 4 of them with you. Now, these are not all of the reasons, but they're some of the reasons that cover the most words and that fit well into what we've already learned so far. So, reason number 1 for silent final E. Silent final E can make the preceding vowel in a word make a long sound. We've already worked with this because we've worked with silent final E making an A make a long sound in words like make. So here we have an M that says an A that says a long A sound A, a K that says k. We don't want this to say Mac, so we add a silent final E, which signals to readers that this is a long A. A, K, make. And we've worked with words where the silent final E makes the first E in a word make a long sound, like Eve. We just did this word. We don't want to say Ev, so we add a silent final E so readers know that this is a long E sound, E. Eve, Eve. And then, of course, silent final E can make any vowel make a long sound. Let's look at some examples. Lime is the next word. I want you to write this down. We have a L that says ol, an I that makes a long sound, I, that M that says and we don't want this to say limb with a short I, so we add a silent final E so the I makes its long sound. Ol, I, lime with a silent final E. This works for O as well, like in the word rope. Here we have a R that says a long O that says O, a P that says P, and we don't want this to say rop with a short O that would say ah. We want it to be a long O that says O, so we add a silent final E. O, P, rope, silent final E. Next word is fume, where we see the silent final E making the U make a long sound. We don't want to say a short U, fum, so we add a silent final E so that this makes a long sound. U, f, U, fume. And then here's a trick with letter U. It has a second long sound, which is the long double O sound, oo, as in dude. Here we have a D that says D, a U that says oo, the long double O sound, oo, a D that says D, and we don't want to say dud, and so we add a silent final E, which makes the U make a long sound, in this case the long double O sound, oo, d, oo, d, dude. And it works for Y also. When Y is a vowel, here we have a T that says T, a Y that makes a long I sound, I, a P that says P, and an E that's a silent final E, telling us that this Y, this vowel Y, is making a long sound. T, I, P, type, silent final E. So you can see silent final E is giving us long A, long E, long I, long O, long U, there's a long double O, oo, and a long I, spelled with Y. Now let's look at a second rule of silent final E. Here I've already written it down. Silent final E can keep U and V from being the last letter in a word. Let's just study the words where this is happening. First word is blue. We have a B that says B, an L that says ol, a U that says oo, and a silent final E. So the only reason this E is here is so that we don't have a word spelled BLU, a spelling that ends in U. Is that silly? once you get used to it, you would never spell the color blue like this. This would be silly. This looks correct. So another word like that, here, let's erase the incorrect spelling here. Next word like blue is true. We have a T that says T, an R that says a U that says oo, and a silent final E so that our word doesn't end in U. Next word, glue. We have a G that says G, an L that says ul, a U that says oo, and a silent final E so the word doesn't end in U. Glue. Next word, value. We have a V that says V, an A that says a, an L that says ul, a U that says oo, and a silent final E so our word doesn't end in U. Value. Next word, hue. We have an H that says h, a U that says oo, and a silent final E so our word doesn't end in U. Hue. Now let's look at some words that would end in V if it weren't for the silent final E. First word, have. Here we have an H that says h, an A that says a, and a V that says v. But we cannot let this word end with V, so we add a silent final E. Now you may notice with this word that there's a conflicting roll of silent final E, where we just learned that the E would make the A make its long sound. But this is making a short sound because it's using the second roll of silent final E, not the first roll of silent final E. So this A stays short, like that, because the E is just there so that the word doesn't end in V. A, V, silent final E. Next word, 12. We have a T that says T, a W that says W, an E that says E, an L that says ul, a V that says V, and a silent final E so the word doesn't end with V. T, W, E, ul, V, 12, silent final E. Next word, live. Here we have an L that says ul, an I that says I, a V that says V. We cannot let this word end in V, so we add a silent final E. And again, this roll of E, preventing the word from ending with V, is conflicting with the roll of silent final E to make the preceding vowel make a long sound. This is a short I, ul, I, V, with a silent final E that's only there for the V. Of course, you've also got a word spelled exactly the same and pronounced differently. Live. I went to see a live performance. And here, this silent final E is performing its other role, where it's making the I make a long I sound. Live, live. Same spelling, different pronunciations. Fascinating, right? And let's do one more example. Nerve. Here we have a N that says N, an ER phonogram that says a V that says V. We cannot let the word end with a V, so we add a silent final E. N, V, nerve, silent final E. Let's look at a third roll of silent final E. Silent final E can turn the letter L that says ul into a complete syllable. This is necessary because every syllable must have a written vowel, and this rule of silent final E would only apply in multi-syllable words. So let's write some of these words down. First one is apple. You spell apple A-P-P-L-E. First syllable ap, second syllable ul. With the presence of this silent final E, so that the LE syllable has a written vowel. If we were to take the E away, we still have all the sounds represented. We still have a short A, a double P that says p, and an L that says ul, apple. But this would be spelled incorrectly because the second syllable wouldn't have a written vowel, and we cannot let that happen. So we add the silent final E. Let's look at some more words like this. Table. Here we have a T that says T, an A that says A. That's the first syllable te, second syllable bull. We have a B that says B, an L that says ul, and this second syllable here that begins with BL needs a silent final E so that it can have a written vowel. Bull, table. Next word, waffle. Here we have a W that says W, an A that says A, an FF that says F, an L that says ul, and a silent final E. First syllable waff, second syllable ul. We need a silent final E so that the second syllable has a written vowel. Next word, candle. We have a C that says K, A that says A, an N that says M. That's our first syllable can, second syllable dull. We have a D that says D, an L that says ul, and a silent final E so that our second syllable has a written vowel. Next word, a juggle. We have a J that says J, a U that says a GG that says G, an L that says ul, and a silent final E. So first syllable jug, second syllable ul. We add the silent final E so that our second syllable has a written vowel, because every syllable must have a written vowel. Now let's look at a fourth rule for silent final E. Silent final E can make a short word look bigger. This one's kind of fun. It explains a lot of sight words. So here is a sight word, A-R-E. Now we know from our AR phonogram lesson that AR all by itself says R. So why is there an E here? Well, it's because this is a silent final E that's making the word look bigger. That's all. So in a word like you are very smart, that R is spelled A-R-E. Here's another one like that. Were. We have a W that says W, an ER that says We have all the sounds we need to say were, to read were, but this word is spelled with an E at the end so that the word looks bigger. Next one is axe. A-X-E. You can actually spell this word two ways. You can spell it with the E or without the E. When you spell it with the E is just making the word look bigger. A that says ah, X that says x, and a silent final E to make the word look bigger. Axe. Next word, dye. As in, I'm going to dye my coat purple. I actually did dye a coat purple when I was a kid. This is spelled D-Y-E. So Y, we will learn in a lesson coming up soon, can say y, I, or E. In this case, it's making a long I sound. So with the D that says D and the Y that makes a long I, we have all the sounds represented that we need to say the word die, but we add an E to make the word look bigger. We are almost at the end of our lesson. So to recap, you have learned when letter E makes its long sound, E, when it makes its short sound, and when it stays silent. You've learned 4 roles for a silent final E. And your assignment is going to be to read as many words containing the letter E as you can. But before you do that, I want you to remember that there are multi-letter phonograms with the letter E in them. And when you run into these multi-letter phonograms, you're going to want to pronounce the sound of the phonogram rather than pronouncing a sound of E all by itself. Okay, so there are multi-letter phonograms with the letter E that we have covered. So what are those? Do you remember any of them? How about this one? E-I-G-H. What sound does that make? E-I-G-H makes a long A sound. A. Like in the word 8. You can write this down as a little cheat sheet to reading. So there's the E-I-G-H phonogram that says A, followed by a T that says T. Say it together fast. 8. And then we have learned double E. That says a long E sound. E. Like in the word green. G-R-E-E-N. Here we have a G that says G, an R that says a double E that says E, and an N that says N. And then we've got the ER phonogram that says The sound of would look like this in a dictionary. And an example word would be her. H that says h, and ER that says And then, of course, there is the EAR phonogram. This phonogram makes 3 sounds, ear, air, and which look like this in a dictionary. You've got ear, air, and And our sample words would be the ear as in here, with the H that says h, and an EAR that says ear, here. An air that says, an air as in bear. We have a B that says b, and an EAR that says air, and a as in earn. We have a E-A-R, that says followed by an N that says N. Oops, that looks like an M almost. Let me fix that for you. Sometimes you make a mistake and you just get out your eraser and you fix it. Earn. And between these phonograms and today's letter E lesson, you can read a lot of words that contain the letter E. But I do want to give you a heads up that there are some multi-letter phonograms with the letter E that we have not covered. Write these with me. O, E. E, W. D, G, E. E, A. E, D. E, I. E, Y. I, E. E, A, U. And EU. Now, if you see a word with any of these phonograms in them, it may be harder to read because you haven't learned the phonograms yet, and that's okay. Just skip over the word or ask an adult to read it for you. You have a lot of phonics skills for reading words with the letter E in them, so I want you to put them to use. Your assignment is to read as many words containing the letter E as you can. Also, I want you to have someone read you the story The Tempest from the book Tales from Shakespeare by Charles and Mary Lamb. Enjoy the story and see you again soon here at Story Hour Academy.